Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a glorious day. And thank you, Walt, for that wonderful and yet still somewhat painful in so many ways and funny, but most of all, very humbling introduction. Thank you, Walt. Chair Bisaccia and distinguished members of the Trinity College Board of Trustees, members of the Presidential Search Committee, honored delegates from peer institutions and faculty and staff, students, alumni, and our neighbors in Hartford, thank you for being here. This is a sacred moment. Here in the home of our national champion Bantams on this glorious campus that proudly sits on the National Register of Historic Places, amid our halls and arches, neath the elms, we gather not just to celebrate a leadership change, but to renew our shared belief in Trinity's enduring mission. I stand before you not to claim authority, but to invite partnership, to walk together toward a future worthy of our history. To my mentors, friends, and colleagues, your belief in me has been both a gift and a duty. To my family, to Tina, my wife and true north, and to our children, Amanda and Michael, your love, your patience, your laughter, and your courage sustain me. You make every ambition and every dream possible and worth pursuing. Let me begin by honoring my predecessor, Joanne Berger-Sweeney. For 11 remarkable years, she led Trinity through global upheaval, institutional renewal, and civic partnership. Under her leadership, the college expanded financial aid, launched the bold Trinity Plus curriculum, strengthened Trinity's commitment to equity and inclusion, and deepened our bonds with Hartford. Joanne's presidency was not mere stewardship, it was transformation. She leaves a stronger endowment, a more diverse community, and a revitalized sense of purpose. Joanne, thank you. Thank you for your vision and your steady grace. So when I tell people I was born in the Virgin Islands and grew up in Amityville, Long Island, they often picture palm trees and suburbanese, and unfortunately too often they picture haunted Dutch colonial houses. But the real narrative is much simpler. Two working-class parents who believed that education could change everything. My mother was raised in her childhood in the Virgin Islands without electricity and central plumbing. But in her steady and nurturing brilliance, she taught me that curiosity was a kind of light, and learning was how we carried that light forward. So standing here today as the 23rd president of Trinity College is an almost unimaginable gift. It is also a reminder that education is not just a ladder, but a bridge between where we begin and the full measure of who we might become. I fell in love with Trinity because it embodies academic excellence, grounded in humility, with a commitment to rigor, guided by purpose. Our faculty embody the ideal of the teacher-scholar, mentoring and guiding our students on a rigorous journey of discovery while prolifically generating scholarship that illuminates and extends the boundaries of their respective fields. Consider Professor Tim Curran, whose research in chemistry and decades of mentorship have shaped generations of scientists. Or Assistant Professor Dang Du in political science, whose voter captain projects connects Trinity students with Hartford neighborhoods to strengthen democracy at the local level. Or Associate Professor Amber Pitt, a global expert on endangered species whose work in environmental conservation is recognized worldwide. Our faculty are authors of New York Times bestsellers and even current finalists for the National Book Award. Good luck, Professor Rutherford, November 19th. Yet these are not distant scholars in an ivory tower. They are also world-class mentors whose doors are open, whose classrooms are alive, and whose partnerships with students and the community change lives. And our students, you are all truly extraordinary. You lead research on climate resilience, build social enterprises, write award-winning poetry, create businesses and innovations, and yes, win national championships, all while volunteering in Hartford schools or preparing hundreds of tax returns to empower working-class Hartford residents to access refunds without fees. You remind us daily that intellect and empathy are not separate callings, they are one. That is the Trinity promise. And if we ever need proof that Trinity's impact endures, we need only look at our alumni, a constellation of bantams lighting the world. Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist George Will, class of 1962, writes with the moral clarity and precision that Trinity instills. Danny Meyer, class of 1980, redefined hospitality and leadership for an entire generation. Rachel Platten, class of 2003, gave the world Fight Song, a modern anthem of courage and resilience. Henry DePhillips, class of 1950, pioneered forensic chemistry. Mary Ursum, class of 1989, expanded economic opportunity globally through the Goldman Sachs Foundation. And countless others. Scientists, teachers, entrepreneurs, artists, and public servants who quietly embody Trinity's spirit in every corner of the world. I offer an important message to the Trinity community. We must no longer whisper our pride. In an age when higher education must prove its value, Trinity will proclaim it. We do not simply educate, we cultivate leaders of conscience and consequence. We must celebrate our alumni not as trivial relics of achievement, but as living testaments to what a Trinity education makes possible. In an era when some say artificial intelligence will replace human judgment, I say it makes human judgment more valuable than ever. Artificial intelligence, yes, can automate tasks, but only humans can ask whether a task is essential to advance progress or whether that task is ethical or right. Sure, AI can analyze patterns, but only humans can interpret and discern meaning, and to do so with compassion and empathy. AI can generate language, but only humans can imagine purpose. At Trinity, we educate not only for a first job, but I'll tell you, we do a gosh darn good job of the first job too, but for a lifetime of options, and for leadership in an age of machines. Our graduates must not just use technology, they must guide its ethics, define its boundaries, and elevate its humanity. That means expanding our curriculum to integrate data science and digital ethics with philosophy, psychology, and the arts. It means mobilizing our alumni network to mentor students in emerging industries. It means connecting career development to the liberal arts so that our graduates are both adaptable and grounded. The liberal arts are not fragile. They are forever. And Trinity will lead in proving it. We are certainly of this time and of this place, literally of this place. Trinity and Hartford have always shared one story, one destiny. In 1872, and you heard hints of this story already from our mayor, but I'm going to tell you a bit more. In 1872, when Hartford sought land for the new state capital, it turned to Trinity. The proposal actually divided opinion in our community. Some wanted the college to leave Hartford, maybe relocate to New Haven or New York. But Hartford citizens, in an extraordinary act of faith, voted 3-1 to invest $600,000, an enormous sum in 1872, to keep Trinity here. That vote bound the college and the city together in shared purpose. Out of that moment rose this campus, the best example of Victorian, Gothic, collegiate architecture built on open farmland, a true symbol of rebirth. From that partnership came nearly 2 centuries of mutual growth and service. Faculty helped found the Connecticut Museum for Culture and History. Students served the city in every way, and Hartford gave the college its energy and its edge. Today, we must rise together again. Mayor Arulampalam, I'm honored to share this moment with you. Your leadership in building a vibrant, equitable Hartford is an inspiration, and I look forward to working with you, the City Council, and all of our civic and business leaders and nonprofit partners to realize Hartford's next renaissance. There is no fence high enough to separate Trinity from Hartford, and no reason we should ever need one that could. Hartford is not our backdrop, it is our partner. When Hartford rises, Trinity soars. We gather in a time of challenge. As my colleague Andy said, a hyper-competitive environment for a declining population of prospective students, rising costs and constricted funding, and growing skepticism about higher education's worth. But challenge is actually nothing new for Trinity. In history, in 1837, a financial panic swept the nation. Banks failed, college endowments evaporated, and so did ours. Trinity's faculty went unpaid. The college, then Washington College, stood on the brink of collapse. But our founders refused to close the doors. They traveled the state, parish by parish, seeking help. They endured, they believed. From that near ruinous experience, Trinity was reborn stronger and more determined. That grit, that resilience is part of who we are. So take this as a clarion call. We are all critics sometimes, but we also must be believers. When others question higher education's relevance, we will respond not with defensiveness, but with demonstrations of excellence. We will strengthen belonging and access, ensuring every student finds both challenge and a home here. We will renew our civic engagement. We will innovate with courage. We have faced true calamity in our history, and we did not yield. We will not yield now in the face of headwinds. All of this leads to one conviction. To ensure we move forward, we must be focused and in alignment about our common purpose. We must move as one Trinity, united. Now is the time for everyone who loves this college, students, faculty, staff, alumni, parents, and neighbors, to unite behind its mission. Regardless of our politics, our profession, or our background, we share one truth: faith in Trinity's power to transform lives. In a time when outrage often replaces dialogue, Trinity will stand for academic freedom and civil discourse. We will model the conversation our democracy needs, not by avoiding disagreement, but by engaging with it with mutual respect and with reason. The next decade will be one of great disruption in higher education. Unfortunately, many colleges and universities will falter, while a few will lead. Our unity, our shared purpose will determine which we become. If we unite, if we lead, if we love Trinity more than we fear change, we will not simply endure. Together, we will define the next century of liberal arts excellence. In closing, it is with a spirit of gratitude that I look to our future, and that I invite you to do the same. but the believers who forge the path for Trinity to achieve, be the believers who forge the path for Trinity to achieve its fullest potential. To our students, dream audaciously. To our faculty and staff, teach boldly, serve selflessly. To our alumni, stay near. Your college needs your wisdom, your support, and your pride. To our partners in Hartford, let us rise together. And to all who believe in Trinity's promise, hear me clearly. The time is now, the work is ours, and the future is bright. Thank you, and as we say here in Hartford, go Bantams.